I just don't believe you. Now, this is what Bill Maher said. Now, again, since this video is going on YouTube, I have to preface this by saying that, yada, 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 go to your doctor, blah, 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 blah. Anywho. So, Bill Maher, quoted as saying, despite some not wanting to give up on the coof, it's over, we shouldn't fire people who have natural immunity. Now, with that being said, I find it funny that this is Bill Maher saying that. Now, understand, Bill Maher is dyed-in-the-wool, socialist commie piece of shit. Now, every once in a while, he's like a broken clock. He's right twice a day. In this instance, he's right. But I don't think he's saying this because it's not necessarily 100% controversial for someone on the left saying, hey, I don't think we should fire people who've got a natural immunity, who are, working for X government agency. I think that he is all about firing people, but let me go through this. This is just on last Friday. He came out and said this. He said, I know some people seem not want to give up on the wonderful pandemic, but you know what? It's over. Now, I'm not saying this. This is Bill Maher saying it. Okay? But if you live where I live in the South, Florida, Alabama, Georgia area, it's pretty much over. Meaning that, yeah, people out there wearing face masks, but life has gone on. Okay? You can go to a restaurant, you can go to any store, there's nothing stopping you from going anywhere. Any establishment. There's no vaccine passport, there's none of that. None. However, there are some people out there that want that. But they're the minority in this instance, especially the three-state area, the general area where I live in. He said, quoting from Bill Maher, I'm not sure what the latest Dr. Fauci thing was on Hollywood. He changed his mind a lot, but I think it was go and do it. I hope so, because it certainly has been my position since the beginning of this, just resume living. I mean, come on. The 15 of 100,000, that's where we are, cases in California. 15 cases per 100,000 people. I know some people seem to not want to give up on the wonderful pandemic, but you know what? It's over. Now, this is Bill Maher saying it. This is not me saying it. I'm just reacting there, Mama Susan, okay? And the YouTube moderators out there. I don't have an opinion on this, according to this article. I'm just saying what he's saying. Basically, the only opinion I have is that what I sort of agree with what he's saying, that for me at least, since last December, or even I would say more like January, it's been over for us. We're not California, we're not New York. They're up there losing their goddamn mind. Me? I'm living life like normal. Matter of fact, I was in Florida this last weekend. Again, Florida's been at it a lot longer than I would say the area, sort of general area where I live in. They've been over it. Everything is back to normal except the screeching, school board members and, leftist politicians down there trying to stop the wonderful, Giga Chad DeSantis. That's just what's going on. It's over from this area. There is no what they're doing in California. It's not here. It doesn't exist at all. You still see signs on the door that say, we recommend, per CDC guidelines, you do X, Y, and Z. But there's no one at the door checking IDs or vax cards or anything like that. You want to get a chicken sandwich right now? Guess what? You can get one without a vax card. Guess that's good, right? He also goes on to say, there's always going to be a variant. You shouldn't have to wear face diapers. Now, understand something about variants. When you look at like the flu virus, it's been around 100 and something years, possibly longer. But we'll say Spanish flu, 1918, etc. 102, 103 years. Every year, and I've said this before, and you can look this up, each parts of the world, when the drug companies decide, okay, we predict this year that the strain for the influenza is going to be A1. We're going to use that for North America. That's to include Mexico and Canada. And then they'll say, well, Central America will get A2, and, well, we determined South America is B4. And then they'll go to Europe, like, well, for some reason A1 is prevalent there, so we'll ship the stuff to them. That's what they do. They determine that, okay, these certain variants of the flu virus will be, sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right. That's just the way it goes. And honestly, who knows when we're going forward about this, is that you're going to see more variants. That's just the way it goes. And this stuff, you just have to look at the science. This virus is not going anywhere. So you either live with it, and knowing full well that you're going to have to take certain risk management procedures going forward. That's if you choose to do that. Well, we still have states out there and politicians who want to decide what's best for you and your family and say you can't make that decision. We're going to make it for you. Well, by the way, I am not going to wear a mask. This is the politician saying that. And even though I got jib-jabbed, I'm going to ignore the guidelines put in place. What are you going to do if you catch me? I'm sophisticated. That's what they're doing. So, he also added this. He says, also vaccine, mask, pick one. You've got to pick. You can't make me mask if I had the vaccine. Okay, this is not me saying it. This is Bill Maher saying it, Susan Woj and YouTube moderators. So get off my ass. So we're not allowed to talk about stuff with what other people talk about. I'm not making an opinion. You choose. Listen, I've already gone through this numerous times. It's a decision between you and your doctor, you and your family, whatever. Get off my ass. You know? Do you want for me to be an authoritarian douchebag like you? No, I'm not going to. You choose it for yourself. That's where we leave it. Maher further stated, I traveled in every state now back on the road, and the red states are a joy, and the blue states are a pain in the ass for no reason. Exactly. Vaccine passports, firing people who hold public infrastructure jobs because they didn't get jib-jabbed. That's freaking stupid, especially when the economy's on the ropes. You're gonna screw over everybody by, firing them, you're laying them off until they get further proper training and jib-jabbed. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. And he added, this is Bill Maher, this is not me saying it. The world recognizes natural immunity. We don't, because everything in this country has to go through a form of the pharmaceutical companies. That's what I'm saying. Natural immunity is the best kind of immunity. We shouldn't fire people who have natural immunity because they don't get the vaccine. We should hire them. Maher also said, I see it all the time. I see it driving in today. People outside, alone, walking with the mask. It's so stupid. It's an amulet. Or a panacea, however you want to call it. But yeah, that's essentially what's going on. Of course, that is Bill Maher's decision. That's probably not conducive with the CDC or the WHO guidelines. So, Susan Woj and YouTube moderators out there, you understand that people can have different opinions compared to other technocrat authoritarian douchebags, medical authoritarians. Some people have different opinions. They're allowed to have different opinions regardless of some big tech firm out there deciding what you can and can't say. Well, we're a platform. We're not a publisher, but then we act like a publisher by telling you what you can and can't say. This is just one comedian, far left comedian's opinion. And it just so happens to intersect with a lot of stuff I believe what he said to be, some of it to be correct. It's not for everybody. If it's not for you, then you got to do what you got to do. But it just goes to show you that there are people on the left that are looking at California, New York, Illinois, and other states out there, New Jersey, and just thinking, why are we firing people right now? This is stupid. For all last year, we held these people up on a pedestal, the medical healthcare professionals who were working during the pandemic. And we are holding up to like praying to the golden calf, TikTok nurses and all that. We're all on their side. Now we're saying you want to kill mama and grandma and grandpa because you don't want to get jib-jabbed. It's a personal choice. As far as I remember, getting any medical procedure done to you, as far as I'm concerned, is a choice, not a mandate. But apparently, that is still what's going on in this country, is that we have medical authoritarians out there, politicians and celebrities saying that if you don't do X like I've done, then you're a bad, silly, ugly, foul person. Which, of course, is a load of crap, and you shouldn't listen to these bastards. Again, going back to what I've always said when I'm talking about this subject, you talk to somebody you trust and a medical doctor. Leave it at that. If you don't want to get it, cool, don't get it. If you want to get it, cool. But I am not going to ask you about it. I don't care if you do it. If you do it, cool. If you don't, just don't. And I think that's where it's lost in this, is that regardless of everyone's opinion on this, whether you believe in it or not, or you, that's where it should end. I shouldn't have to like go to someone's house and like, have you been jib-jabbed? None of your fucking business. What sort of medical condition I'm in, or what are medical procedures I have. If I choose to tell you, that's a different story. But in this instance, I choose not to tell you because, well, it's none of your goddamn business.